and welcome back to Leanne Presents. I'm Leanne, and this is Alan, and we're here with our reactions to the WWE Premium Live event, WrestleMania 2022. This is a good event. I quite enjoyed it. There were highs and lows, but lots of surprises.
Some of it was on just pure fire.
Yes. We'll cover that in a bit. So, should we just get straight into it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay,
There's
cool.
no point bashing around the bush.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see bashing around the bush, I guess go see the predictions video, which we'll put a card to, where we talk about what we think's going to happen, and now we'll see how right we were or wrong we were. A bit of a mixture. Cool. We go straight into our first match, which was Roman Reigns and versus Seth. It's a good start. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
Seth Freakin Rollins.
Freakin Rollins.
For
the Intercontinental Championship? No. I always get the wrong belts. Universal Championship.
There we go.
The Intercontinental.
Intercontinental. It's the championship of Kent.
It just has set the whole tone for the video. It's going to be... ugh. Yeah, that one is Shinsuke, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry. It's the Universal Championship. So Roman Reigns is in the ring. And the music from The Shield starts up. So that's good.
That was great.
It's good. So Seth Rollins comes down to the ring through the crowd, the way The Shield used to do.
In his
He's got
shield gear.
the vest on and everything. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And certainly starts off rubbing Roman Reigns up the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, mind games.
Oh yeah, he was right in Roman's head.
Yep.
Free rent.
Oh yeah.
Rent free.
I really enjoyed this match. It was such a good start.
Yep.
And the crowd were immediately into it, which is what you want. It's just whether you can follow up afterwards, I suppose, isn't it? Really good. Lots of great spots. Both these guys are amazing. Seth Rollins is just great. He's just amazing. Can't think of any better words, really.
Yeah.
He's
he carried
he's
it.
a pro.
He carried it.
Yeah. I don't have a lot written down. I sort of jumped straight to the finish, but I don't know if you had anything.
I got Rag's fur on my mouth. I think that's what I've got.
Rag's fur is everywhere. In particular to say about this one?
The black eye.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was when Seth did those two crossbodies through the ropes on the outside, and I think it was, I can't remember if it was the first or second one, but Reigns was like, and he looked like he was really hurt, like something was bothering him.
Yeah. And throughout the match he kept
and you could see it sort of swelling up as well then at that point and started going red.
Yeah. It started going red and then you could see bruising and swelling. He must have caught one of the buckles on Rollins' vest.
Yeah.
Probably.
There was a point where it looked like Seth was going to win when Reigns went for the spear. I'm not saying that Seth didn't win just yet. So Reigns goes for his normal spear crap. Yeah. And Rollins just reverses it into a pedigree. So he's taken all of Reigns' momentum and just kind of boom, and just drove him straight into the mat. I thought that was beautiful.
That was so good.
That was so great.
And that was the second time, I think, that Rollins countered something. One of the moves that Reigns, what's the word? Telegraphs. Yeah. So it's the hoo-ah, or the arm thingy. And it's like, Seth Rollins knows you. He knows your moves. He is gonna counter
This video
that.
now became PG-13. Because
You're just doing the arm thing. Yeah, good match.
Yeah.
Loved it. Enjoyed. The ending, though, was a bit...
I don't know. I'm not even that upset about the ending.
It was a surprise, I think.
Yeah, truth be told. It could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, so... Reigns has Seth in the guillotine for what feels like forever. And it looks like Seth is fading. He's basically like, Seth is sort of...
on the ground,
dragging them both towards the ropes, just fading as he goes. It gets to the point where the ref needs to sort of do that thing where they lift the arm to check whether the person is still conscious. Lifts the arm. As he drops it, it grabs the rope. So Seth's got the rope. That means that there's a 5 second limit for Rollins to break.
Yeah,
for
it's a 5 count. Mm-hmm.
Reigns to break the hold, which he doesn't do.
No.
So it's a disqualification.
So Seth Rollins technically wins, but doesn't gain the title.
No. So, but I mean, it's a win. But even after the bell goes, Reigns keeps that hold on for a long time.
And did he say like he deserves it? He asked for this.
Yeah. Those kinds of things. And then he
Cat.
I wrote down I wrote it down wrong, but Reigns wins by disqualification.
Yeah.
Because Roman is a big baby.
Seth wins.
Yeah, I wrote that wrong.
Yeah.
Then I got Roman attacks Seth with a chair because he's a big baby.
It was premium. Because there was a premium live event, this was a premium throwing toys out of the pram moment.
It's like, Seth's gonna win. I can't beat him, so I'm just gonna throw my toys out.
Yeah.
And just end it in the worst way.
Cat.
But I mean, it's so weird because it's like he has a loss on his record because he was a big baby.
Yeah, but I don't think he cares about win-losses as long as he keeps his
keeps the title.
his strap. Yeah.
Yeah, which is quite an interesting thing because it's, I guess, not usually that way. So it's nice to have a bit of a different spin on motivations going into matches. That's the first match.
Yeah.
It's good. Enjoyed. Nice start. We had a WrestleMania ad. WrestleMania is 63 days away. Well, it would be 62 now. Because we're a day
that's right.
onwards.
Yeah, that's right.
As recording. We're recording on the Sunday.
Yeah.
When Royal Rumble would have aired.
Technically, it is still 63 days away. The second night is still 63 days away.
Very true. Very true.
The most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania.
In history. There have been 2 others. I think just 2 others.
Yeah. Last year's fell flat.
Yeah.
The year before was decent for what they could do considering there's no crowds.
And that was more, people were happy that they were able to do something.
Do you remember last year? Anyone who didn't watch it, sort of either live or just after the fact, they won't see what happened anymore. Where they had to delay it for half hour because of the storm.
Yes.
I just remembered about that.
Forgot about that. Ooh.
Wow.
Well.
Because Peacock have edited all that stuff out of there.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Rags.
Is that what you think? Yeah. Okay. Women's Royal Rumble.
Yep. Who are the 30 participants, Leanne?
Nope. Why don't you tell us?
Because you're the one that does these videos. Come on, let's go.
I'm not going to read them all out.
Where you go?
Okay, so I've sort of just gone for bits that sort of caught our eye.
Yeah.
Things that we especially enjoyed because these matches are so long and we're trying to get these videos to be a bit shorter. So, okay. One brilliant moment was Queen Zelina eliminating Sasha Banks.
Yes! Queen! Absolute queen.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks.
She's got that new look, or like her hair seems very different.
It's darker and quite voluminous.
Yeah, which looks really cool. It kind of suits her.
Yeah, it suits her. It does make her look a bit smaller, but I think that plays into it a bit.
I think it makes her look a bit feral as well. The way she was looking at some of the things, she looked quite feral.
Yes.
Legs, she's blocking Leanne in the camera.
Ah.
She's still here. Continue.
Okay. I've sort of gone through sort of storyline bits.
Yep, go on.
So we've got the Sonya Deville and Naomi thing. So Sonya enters before Naomi. She comes in and just goes and sits at commentary because
I
she's still got
that
her
was number
jacket
11,
on.
I think.
Around then, I think, yes. So she's sort of adding to the commentary a bit, which is quite nice to have a bit of a variety. Soon after, Cameron enters.
Yeah.
So Cameron was one of the members of the Funkadactyls, which was with Naomi.
Yeah. And she still comes out to the Funkadactyls theme.
Yeah.
Or, well, it's technically Brodus Clay's theme, but was it Brodus Clay at that point? I can't remember what he was using in WWE. Continue. It'll come to me.
So after a bit of discussion on commentary, Sonya realises that hurting Cameron will hurt Naomi. So she takes off the jacket and she's in the ring and she sort of beats her up a bit and then eliminates her quite easily, which we kind of expected Cameron to go out easily.
Yeah, there was no way she was going to win.
No.
I kind of would have liked to seen her a bit more present in there, though.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Right.
Yeah, I think we got that with some of the old entrants. They didn't have them long in the ring, but
Ivory.
we'll come to that. Okay, then I think it was the next one after
Camel
elimination was Naomi. So she's like, she doesn't do any of the dancing at the top. She's got a glow stick. She just hands them straight into the crowd.
The crowd sort of one grabs one and the other one just drops to the floor.
Yeah, she handed them though. They just didn't quite make their destination. Yeah. So she enters and has a proper brawl with Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
And just eliminates her straight off. So that's good. We were happy with that. We were talking about how, it's still not clear why there is a feud between those two. But I think it's one of those things, I guess it started with Sonya didn't like her for some random reason that doesn't matter and it's just blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Which is it's quite good. You don't always need a solid reason. A bit later on, Charlotte sends Naomi over the top rope.
Yeah.
Naomi manages to keep her feet on the apron. So her
she kind of hooks it on, I think, on the bottom rope,
down.
isn't it?
She's got her feet hooked onto the bottom rope to hold herself in. But
I thought it was on top, because I thought the foot
might
was like that on top, holding her in, I think.
She was holding herself in anyway. Yeah. So you're like, ooh, she's going to do some of that fun stuff Naomi does to not get eliminated.
She's like the Kofi of the female Rumble.
But then Sonya appears. She's been eliminated, but she's still hanging around. And she grabs Naomi by the wrists and pulls her down. So that's still a feud that is going to continue.
I reckon they'll blow this off at Mania.
Yeah.
I think it'll be the blow-off match at Mania.
Probably.
Everything will come up between now and then that'll be that.
Yeah, it does feel like we're coming to a bit of a climax with it. Okay, next thing I've got is about Ivory.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Ivory from... Oh, his beans. It's going to go crazy if you do that. But she came out.
Yeah, the right to censor sort of gimmick as opposed to a normal wrestling gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got a microphone and she's just sort of like, oh, look at these little girls in the ring. Should be homely women looking after things and whatever she was saying.
I didn't quite get all of what she was saying because...
I think it was Rhea, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley just like squares off to her and then is like, nope, chucks her over.
Bye.
Fair play to Ivory. She's still talking on the mic.
Yeah,
she's
she
going.
kept hold of that mic. Yeah, fair play.
Fair play. But she did not last long. But that was the gimmick, so
yeah,
it's all good. Soon after, Mickie James comes out.
Yeah.
With the Impact Women's Championship.
And it's only just dawned on me. I think they used the music from Impact Wrestling as well. Hardcore country.
Probably. It wasn't music I recognised for her.
It was, yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
was hard. Oh, wow. I only just twigged onto that.
Used her music. She had an Impact belt. She had Impact Women's Championship on her name card thing that came up on the screen. And the commentary team were singing her praises like nobody's business.
She's great, to be fair. She's really good.
Yeah, because they have bridges to mend, and this is the only way they can do it, is to...
Like, one of the notes is literally Mickie comes out with the Impact title.
Yeah.
Because that's great.
It's good.
It's recognition for Impact Wrestling, which have been around since, I want to say 2004-ish.
Yeah.
Or was it 2002? So they've been going for a good while, like 20-ish years. So they're not like some just little piddly sort of territory kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a proper company, and
I
they
think
need recognition.
if, and again, name dropping AEW, but if it weren't for AEW, I think Impact would be the second biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
Maybe.
third after New Japan. Actually.
Yeah, I was just thinking New Japan.
Because Ring of Honor, they don't really draw the same sort of numbers.
No.
And Impact does have a lot of big stars, and like Titan, Braun Strowman, he's gone there. EC3's gone back there.
Yeah.
AJ Styles came from there. Samoa Joe came from Impact Wrestling. Obviously Ring of Honor as well. But the last place they were in before WWE or NXT was Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Or TNA, as it used to be. Well, it's TNA's the company, and Impact Wrestling is the show technically. But yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, it was great to see that. Yeah, and she stayed in for quite a while.
Yeah, she's over a good little bit.
She had a good showing and got some great spots in, which was nice.
I can't remember who eliminated. Was it Charlotte? Or was it Lita?
I don't know if I wrote that one down.
I think it was Lita, you know? Because then didn't Lita turn around and Charlotte was right in her face?
Yeah, because Mickie and Lita did have quite a bit of a back and forth going. It was really good.
Well, Mickie James, when she started the industry, was a stalker of Trish Stratus.
Ah.
She wanted to, how shall I say this? Be with Trish Stratus?
Right.
Let's just, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting time.
Next, Nikki ASH her music starts playing. She's obviously been having a feud with Rhea Ripley because
Who's
they
in
were
the ring?
tag team and now are not. So Rhea Ripley, you're playing with Ragged's tail. Rhea Ripley is up at the ropes, sort of watching the ramp, yelling for her to come down, and we're screaming at the TV. Well,
Turn around.
She's gonna come from the back, because obviously, right? If someone is that keen to get to have someone coming out the front and they haven't come out when the music started, they're behind you.
Yep.
So she comes out of the back, does some attack on Rhea Ripley, tries to eliminate her, gets her over the top, but Rhea doesn't go down. So when Rhea comes in, Nikki just runs away, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because what are you going to do against Rhea Ripley?
Coward.
Yeah, I mean, that whole feud as well. I don't like the turn of Nikki ASH. I think maybe they regret doing the superhero thing to start with.
I think so.
And they're trying to rush turning a heel and then coming to some resolution.
And then possibly scrapping the whole...
Yeah, probably. But there we go.
Do you think she's going to go full on Professor Chaos?
Possibly, yeah. She's just got evil. I think she's getting there. We'll come to that in a minute. Sarah Logan came out, which was a big surprise.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, she's been gone for quite a while.
Well, they fired her.
They fired her.
She had a baby.
And now she's back.
She's with one of the Viking Raiders. She's married to one of them. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. I don't know if this is just a sort of one-off thing, or if she's
I think it's a one-off.
Coming back.
I reckon it's a one-off.
Yeah, probably. But it was nice to see the moment where Liv Morgan saw her, because they were in
Riot
Squad together. So you could see Liv just like tearing up as she saw her, because they haven't seen each other in a long time.
I reckon that Liv didn't know Sarah was there.
I think that's probably true.
Much like Christian and Edge in last year's Rumble, where Christian showed up randomly, because he'd obviously retired as well.
Yeah.
I think that was that. I think they didn't know.
Sarah didn't stay for long though.
No.
Gets eliminated by the Bella Twins.
Thanks.
And then Liv tries to sort of get revenge, but then also gets eliminated by the Bella Twins.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Bella Twins are there, by the way.
We covered that in the last video.
No twin magic, though.
No. Well, you can't. Again, outfits. You can't in the Rumble anyway. So.
Although they have the same haircut.
Thanks.
This is getting difficult.
What are you doing? Bloody hell.
Okay. Next, Molly Holly.
Yeah, Mighty Molly.
Mighty Molly, the real superhero. Comes down, she's in a cape and everything.
The pink regalia.
Yeah, but Nikki ASH is waiting.
Wait, on the way down, didn't we say it wouldn't have been cool if Nikki was still in the match?
Yeah, we wanted...
We figured she was eliminated at that point, didn't we?
Yeah, we lost track a little bit.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Mighty Molly might eliminate Nikki ASH.
Yeah.
But instead, Nikki ambushes her.
Yeah.
She's hiding behind the barrier and she's coming down. And they have a brawl, and then...
There's only one room for one superhero.
And then,
something like that.
So you're like, well, she's a villain. That sort of just puts that pin in it.
Yeah, that's the T crossing the cross across the T with a dot in the eyes.
Now, definitely a villain. She eliminates Mighty Molly quite quickly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, just take it by surprise. Oh, I would have liked to see more of that, but right. Okay, he's going to have to go down. Ooh, he heard me. Cool.
Get off that.
Next surprise entrant.
Hey.
Ronda Rousey. Another surprise. We sort of mentioned it in the predictions that you said that there'd been rumours that Ronda was going to come out, but you had a feeling it wouldn't happen just yet.
Yeah. I figured they would have put Asuka in that situation first.
Yeah. So Ronda Rousey comes up, and her and Shayna team up.
And she sets the place on fire. Or at least she will.
She will. So Ronda and Shayna team up to wreak some havoc.
Yeah, it was that when Shayna sort of comes out, you could see Ronda's face. They kind of cut someone's face. She was like, yeah, let's go. Because anyone who doesn't know, Shayna and Ronda are part of the 4 horsewomen of the MMA world, with Marina Shafir and Jasmine Duke.
Yeah.
Marina Shafir is now with AEW. Jasmine Duke, I'm not sure where she is. So, Marina Shafir is actually Roderick Strong's wife.
Oh.
So,
little fun fact.
But if you go back to the WrestleMania where Rock gets Ronda in the ring with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, all 4 of them are there. Shayna, Ronda, Marina, and Jasmine.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So we get some eliminations there. I haven't got a huge amount of detail, but it sort of all went quite quickly at that point.
Yeah, it did.
Bianca Belair got eliminated.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I'm glad that it wasn't her. But in the end, it came down to Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey in the ring.
Yeah.
So we were sort of edge of the seat, like, this could go either way, and I don't know if I like either way. But out of those two, I wanted Ronda to win, because I do not want, even though she was my pick, don't want Charlotte to win.
Just because you pick someone to win doesn't necessarily mean you want them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a prediction, not a preference.
Yeah.
But they had some, I mean, Ronda's amazing. She is so good. Just the ring awareness that she has. And when sort of she had people half eliminated, she had...
There he goes. Rags is having his own personal Royal Rumble.
It's like, a lot of people get someone over the rope and then turn away and do something else, because whatevs. But she sort of would put on a submission or do something that would make sure that they were eliminated. Is having that intelligence in the ring. And she has got it.
That definitely translated from the UFC. Obviously, UFC being a real contact sport.
And there was really the quick jabs and just that dynamic style that she's got. I could really get behind her. And so she has a bit of a brawl with Charlotte and eliminates her to win.
But you did notice in the replay that Charlotte does a really good running face?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Charlotte's running face. Whenever she's running sort of to do a move, she does this little... sort of.
It's like almost like a slight gurn. Like
Look out for it, because once I noticed it, I was seeing it every time, and it's just
So yeah, Ronda Rousey's going to WrestleMania.
There was a bit of it. Oh, we'll come to it when we do the next bit, I think. Yeah.
The only notes I really had from that was obviously Mickey with the Impact title. There was a lot going on, so I'd take notes. But the other one was, there seemed to be a lot of focus on the entrances. There's like 6-7 people in the ring, and they're focusing on someone walking down the entranceway.
Yeah. I mean, usually...
Show the shot, show the person coming out, go back to the ring.
Yeah, that's what they've done in the past, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't literally watch someone like Natalya walking down to the ring when there's 7 or 8 or whatever it is people in the ring beating the hell out of each other. Yeah. That's what people want to see. They don't want to see, it's someone walking down the ramp, la 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 la. They want to see people fighting in the ring for that chance to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments where, like, I think in the men's one specifically, where they'd bring up a replay, but as the replay comes up, someone's getting eliminated. Yeah. It's like, show that and then go to that. Just, I don't know. They don't always know the timings that things are going to happen. But there we go. Overall, though, enjoyable match.
It's pretty good.
There were obviously a couple messy moments, probably. There were Brie Bella, I think, got eliminated before she was meant to. It looked like she went over the rope, her feet hit the apron, and she slipped onto the floor and was eliminated. There were a couple moments where she did look like she was in Brie mode, as in the drunk one, not the angry fighting one.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had cause to celebrate. They were Nikki and Brie together in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, I don't blame them. And it wasn't even going to be for long, and it's a one-off, so...
Yeah.
You do you? All right, next match was Becky Lynch versus Doudrop for the SmackDown Raw Women's Championship. I'm always going to get these wrong. I need to write them down, but I sort of lose track. But yeah, okay, this was a good match, but
it's all right.
I think it got there. It suffered with a couple of external factors. First thing we noticed, there were a lot of empty seats. Not that bit yet.
Oh, okay.
Empty seats on the hard cam side, which you were talking about. You don't usually see any empty seats on hard cam, because you were saying
they have people who maybe get nosebleed seats, and they say, look, do you want to be a filler? You'll go and you'll sit on the hard side cam, you'll fill the seats when people are going snacks or going to the facilities or whatever, just to make sure the hard cam side doesn't look empty.
Yeah. So
they clearly didn't hire enough fillers in this
No.
event.
So whatever happened, maybe the chairs looked they were obvious, these chairs. There's something about the design that they stand
It
out.
looked like they were sort of, the edge of it were in silver.
Yeah,
So
it
the
wasn't
lights
like
just
normal.
hitting it,
They were really obvious. And so obviously, like, after a long match like the Royal Rumble, a lot of people go to the loo or go and get snacks and stuff, and just, they were gone for ages, and the hard cam had, like, maybe a third of chairs seemed empty. I don't know if it was like camera angles or people sitting in weird sort of positions so you could see the chairs instead, but it was a bit distracting.
Yeah.
And then the people that were left all started looking off to the side, and we thought we heard a chant. We couldn't quite make it out, but it sounded like something's on fire.
Yeah.
So, but we sort of thought nothing of it. We're trying to sort of figure out what was going on while also paying attention to the match. But when, like, because WWE arenas, they light up the crowd.
Yeah.
So it's really
very
distracting when everyone's looking somewhere.
You got three people in the ring, including the ref.
Yeah.
And then you've got about, 200 people doing this?
Yeah, and people getting their phones out to film something.
Yeah. Even super fan Smiles, green shirt guy.
With his phone out, filming. And we're like, what is happening? Something big is happening. And I wasn't sure. We think something's on fire. So we're like looking at the ticker tape screens because half of them seem to be off. And it's like, has something happened with them? And then Becky in the ring says something like, I set the sign on fire.
Yeah.
We're like, there's a sign on fire. So I thought maybe a fan sign. Was like...
And I said, what about the WrestleMania sign, didn't I?
And there were certain shots where you could see that the WrestleMania sign was, rather than being up in the air, hey Rex, it was like fan level.
Like
it was
down
on the
really
ground.
low, yeah.
And like, what on earth has happened?
We have since looked into this, and yeah,
Ronda Rousey, when she points at the sign, pyro goes off. This is generally what happens when you have the Royal Rumble winner point to the sign, you get some pyro. Something went wrong. Maybe a spark or something landed on the actual WrestleMania sign, and there was just a little fire that you could only see from the shots from the back, really. A little fire in the middle, but like sparks and melting material just falling down. They had to evacuate part of the crowd so they could lower the sign to put the fire out. So that's what was happening.
Do you think all those people filled those empty seats in the hard cam?
Maybe, because it did seem a bit fuller after that. But, I mean, imagine being Becky and Doudrop when something like that is happening and you know the crowd is not paying attention to
What's
what
worse,
you're doing.
sign on fire or beach ball?
Beach ball's worse. Beach ball is an insult. That is deliberate.
Or Mexican wave.
Yeah, that is when you know the crowd is out.
You've lost the crowd, yeah.
If something like a fire happens, you lose the crowd because of the incident.
Yeah, and that's because there's safety issues that need to be addressed.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did pull it back and they had some good spots.
It wasn't the best match, not by a long shot.
It wasn't. It was sort of probably the low one of the night, but for what they could do, and I do have sympathy because of the distractions.
Yeah.
They did what they could. So Becky won after slamming Doudrop from the second rope.
With a manhandle slam.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, Doudrop, to be fair to her, can't do top rope stuff very easily.
Well, she does that, like, I don't know if they're calling it something different, but it's the Vader bomb,
It's a
basically.
Vader bomb, yeah. So she does that, but like to slam her from the top rope would probably be too dangerous. But from the second rope,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, not bad. Good stuff. Becky wins. Becky retains.
Yeah.
We both had that one right.
Yeah. So then we started surmising, like, obviously Charlotte Flair's not won the Royal Rumble, so she's not going to pick her own challenger. Ronda Rousey's won it. Mm-hmm. They did announce at some point that she's going to be on Raw, but is Ronda going to challenge Becky, or is Ronda going to challenge Charlotte?
I think she'll challenge Charlotte.
I hope so.
Because they had that spot being the last two in the Royal Rumble, it sets it up.
But when Ronda was last in the match, in competing, when she was the women's champion, Becky beat her at WrestleMania.
So they've got something there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they could do a bit of like back and forth.
I kind of hope they do. I kind of want to sort of, I kind of want a bit of that.
And not deciding to like right before it kind of.
So imagine they sort of come out on Raw and Becky starts beating her down. Mm-hmm. And she's like, and then Charlotte comes out and just starts kicking her ass as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, whoa, okay. Well, both of them are just sort of going on Town and Ronda. Well, who's you going to pick? And then just sort of stew over it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know? That'd be pretty cool.
Interesting. We got some stuff happening. Next match. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. For the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
She got one right!
Yay. I got it.
Even Wright is surprised by that.
I know. That was sort of... It was at this one where I noticed it and then was like, I think I've written down the one wrong from earlier. So I did start writing down what I thought the belts were and got a bit mixed up. I'm a fake wrestling fan. I think I need to put a sticker on my forehead. Fake wrestling fan. I'm trying. Okay. First thing we noticed, when Lashley is coming down to the ring, he's got white trousers, pants for the Americans.
Yeah.
He's got his usual logo, so it's like him doing the pointing things. But the logos are kind of chunky.
They're almost like solid black.
Yeah.
And it's got a shiny detailing on it, so it only shows the detail when you get it in the right light.
Yeah, so it didn't look good. It didn't quite look like it was meant to, and we'll leave it at that. Cool. Okay, this was a fun match. Really enjoyed this one. Sort of a lot of the elements we expected. F5s, German suplexes.
We didn't see any F5s.
We did. There was an F5. There was one F5.
I can't remember.
I'll come to it. I've got it written down.
Okay.
The first suplex was delivered by Lashley.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
One guy in the front.
Yeah, there was a guy in there with who had numbers. He was going to count all the suplexes and clearly probably had a little chat with the guys around and was like, do I count that one? It was Lashley. But he did. So he was counting those. That was fun. I wrote down that Lashley did manage to get Lesnar into a hurt lock.
Yeah.
So we were wondering whether
So this is sort of more towards the end of the match.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot. I think I was quite invested.
So
get a lot of notes.
The only other thing I've got written down here is I'm really fed up seeing this ringside spear thing.
Yeah.
He's going through the barricade. I'm really fed up seeing that. Every match that Bobby's in nearly, someone gets speared through that barricade or Bobby spears himself. Stop doing that so much. It's a novelty. It should only be used in certain times. Don't do it in every single friggin' match.
It's very true.
It's pointless.
You did go through it hard, mate.
But it becomes pointless. Because as soon as Bobby and Brock are on this, I was like, oh, I know this is going already.
Yeah, that's true. And then he
sort
of almost revs himself up.
It's like when Braun Strowman was there and he was doing the running around the ring. As soon as someone's on the outside, oh, here comes Braun Strowman with his choo-choo.
Yeah, so not a huge amount of notes, but the sort of end of this one is where everything got real interesting. So Lashley got the hurt lock on Lesnar. Managed to keep it in for quite a while.
Yeah, it's good sort of maybe 30, 40 seconds, if not longer.
We were commenting that Lesnar's going like red in the face because it's not going to be fun being in there. It's probably going to cut off airways and all sorts. But he gets out of it by driving Lashley back into the corner.
Yeah.
The corner where the ref is.
Yeah. The ref kind of had nowhere to go. He was going behind, he was trying to get in, and Brock sort of just turns him around and sort of slams him back.
There's no way to predict which way they were going to go.
There was no way that ref could have got out there in time either.
So the ref is there like...
groggy.
He's sort of hunched over, he's winded and all that sort of stuff. Then Lesnar gets Lashley up to do an F5. This is the F5.
Oh, that's right, I remember.
F5's him into the ref.
Yeah, so the ref's still like, oh, and he gets up and he basically catches Bobby's feet in his face.
Yeah. Lesnar should have had the ring awareness to know where the ref was.
To be fair, he was in the hurt lock for like a minute.
He was out of it,
so
I get it. Yeah.
I think that was a desperation F5.
Probably.
It's like, right, let's give it a shot.
But now the ref is down, out of the ring.
Legit ref bump, yeah.
Yeah. So Lesnar gets the pin on Lashley.
The crowd counts.
The crowd is counting.
8, 9.
A lot. But obviously no ref. So then Roman Reigns turns up.
Spears Lesnar.
Yeah. So Spears Lesnar, then everyone's down, apart from Roman Reigns, who goes over to stare down Paul Heyman. puts his hand out
Yeah.
to Paul Heyman after a while of staring. It was quite a long one.
And anyone who's seen anything with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, anytime that Paul Heyman's in the corner of someone with the title, they don't put it on the ring keeper's table. Paul Heyman holds it.
Apart from now, Paul Heyman hands the belt to Roman Reigns, who it's quite weird because it was sort of very long pauses, but it actually added a lot to the effect and the sort of
It's
what
almost
is he
that.
gonna do
Wait,
with that?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was quite good.
It's very reminiscent of horror films. They don't just go boom, 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 boom. They try and draw that tension out, and I felt they were doing that. That tension, what's Heyman going to do?
It did that really well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then Lesnar gets up, Reigns belt to face. Lesnar goes down, Lashley gets the pin, Lashley wins the belt.
Yeah.
Heyman is walking around the ring like this, like, ooh, not my fault. But then joins Roman Reigns and they walk up the ramp together off into the sunset.
So basically, Paul Heyman played Brock Lesnar from the start.
Yeah, it does feel like it's been a long con.
And to be fair, the way that Heyman was saying that he was protecting Brock from Reigns, Brock didn't like that. And I think that dropped a bit of a hint at that point. And I did kind of comment on that when we saw that. I was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right.
So yeah, great match. An unexpected finish. I think I did say that maybe Reigns would, if he lost his match, would end up interfering, but wasn't expecting it like this. So I kind of enjoyed that.
See, for me, it was a decent match, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting like fists flying, pounding, just going absolutely full metal on each other.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I was expecting. But it turned into a bit more of a suplex, walk around, suplex, walk around. Oh, look, there's a barricade. I'm going to throw myself through it.
Yeah. We had a total of 8 suplexes.
From Brock and 1 from Lashley.
Well, 8 altogether. 7 from...
I thought Lashley hit 8.
No, it was 8 altogether. Well, Sign Guy had 8 in the end.
Well, no, because
he counted Lashley.
Yeah, but he was counting his separately. Brock Lesnar...
Lesnar was counting his separately.
Okay,
The guy in
I'm
the crowd,
pretty sure Brock Lesnar hit 8, but okay.
Lesnar did...
Continue.
Okay. Lesnar was counting how many did in a row at one point and got to 5. Or 6, I think.
He got to 5, right? But he didn't count his first 3. That's 8.
Yeah, 2. It doesn't matter. Right. Next. Miz and Maryse versus Edge and Beth Phoenix.
I think the only reason they put this after the match was a palate cleanser before the Rumble.
Yeah, quite possibly. Something a bit gentler. Quite enjoyed this one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think the crowd were a bit flat to start with, but they did get into it towards the end. I think that's the sort of nature once you've had that sort of barn burner kind of match, and then you come to something a bit slower pace.
I think the biggest issue in this match for me, and I think I mentioned this on the predictions one, was that both Maryse and Beth have not really been active competitors for a long time.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
It kind of showed.
Yeah,
it really showed, which was a bit...
Especially on Maryse's side.
Kind of took away. But I don't mind, because when Beth hit that spear on Miz with Edge, she basically clotheslined his stomach.
Yeah,
the shoulder was nowhere near it. So I don't know, it felt a bit... That kind of took away from a little bit for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh,
She slipped off the edge then. Oh, careful, Rex.
Got my hand, he bit it. It's fine. There were some fun moments with Beth attacking Miz.
Yeah.
Getting some really good moves on him, just sort of wrecking him for a bit. But we did have Maryse's loaded purse come into play while that was happening. Rex is so distracting right now. And you did also have Maryse landing Hurricane Rana on Edge.
Yeah. I mean...
That looked pretty decent.
That looked decent, but Edge was the one helping through that.
Yeah.
To be fair.
That's fair. It looked pretty good, though.
Not to take away from Maryse.
Like, whoa, she
obviously, she's not been in the ring for years. She's had 2 children at this point.
I suppose with that kind of match, you need 2 people to pull it off, right?
Like, her physique is great.
Yeah.
Can't fault her for that. Same with Beth. Can't fault her for that. She looks just as good as she did when she was actively competing. But, yeah, I think there's a lot of ring rust on both of those.
Yeah, I expect so. But maybe they'll do some more stuff now. I don't know. Is this like the end of...
I probably would say that was the end of it.
Yeah, so they'll go back home.
They can't really dispute it.
No. Yeah, so I haven't got a huge amount of notes on this apart from that and then up to the finish. Do you got anything?
No, not really. Just the missteps from the women.
It's a shame. So in the end, you had both Edge and Beth doing the glam slam on Maryse and Miz.
Yeah.
So, and Edge and Miz were legal at that time, so Edge pins Miz and they win. So yeah, it was sort of the result we expected.
Yeah.
Get my words the right order. I quite enjoyed it. There was some fun bits.
It was alright, yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah.
That's all we have to
I
say
expected
about
that
one.
to be match of the night, but it wasn't. Not for me.
No, it wasn't, but it's still good. There were empty seats as well on this one, but not as many and not for as long. I saw people returning this one.
Yeah, I think they're just emptying bladders and whatnot before the Rumble match.
Okay. Random Sasha Banks recap. I don't know why.
Well, it's not really a recap, is it? It's more
like
of
a vignette.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a promo, it's not a promo. Profile. Let's go with profile.
Her sort of history lead up, and had a clip from The Mandalorian and everything. So, but I don't know why. Doesn't matter, I guess.
It's the same they were doing the last one. Was it
Yeah.
Becky and I think Lashley was one.
At least there was only one of them this time. I think maybe one is sort of like get a bit of a deep dive into someone, but I'd have expected it to be someone who was more prominent, like one of the champs or top contender. I don't know.
But then,
probably
because Sasha's been away for a bit for whatever reason, maybe that's why. I don't know.
I thought maybe would have made more sense to have a Ronda Rousey one.
But then if Ronda Rousey returning was last minute, they wouldn't have prepped one ready.
True. Anyway, ad for Elimination Chamber, which is on 19th of February in Jeddah,
Saudi Arabia.
which we're quite happy about because with the time differences, we might actually get to watch this one live.
This, I think, starts about 5 p.m. British time, I think.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Whee! Quite
So,
excited
that's
for
cool.
that. And then we move into the men's Royal Rumble. Whee! It's good.
Yeah. Well, did you want to do your other segment first before we do the last match? Or
Yeah,
do
I mean,
some
it
of the
is part of
signs?
it. The sort of most signs that came up were sort of involved in this match. So I can do it now.
If you want, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's do it. Rex is in the way. It's Leanne, signs of the premium live event. Leanne, signs of the premium live event.
Plah. It's like one of those awful metal bands. Instead of blah, it's like plah. Plah.
Terrible. I've taped it up, but I've left this separate so I can still use PPE for PPV for AEW shows. Cool. So the sign game, so much better than last time. Thanks guys. Well done.
No temper tantrums today, folks.
It was justified. Thank you very much. So first we'll give some
Well, like
honourable
Roman
mentions.
Reigns throwing his toys at the pram.
Yeah. Some honourable mentions. First to the sign that said Final Fantasy is better than Kingdom Hearts. And then there was
This time.
it's right at the start. Then there was a cutout of Conrad Thompson.
Conrad
Conrad.
Thompson.
So that's fun.
For anyone who doesn't know, he does a podcast with Ric Flair. He does one with Tony Schiavone, What Happened When. He does one with Bruce Pritchard, Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. If you're into your old school wrestling stuff, you'll know more about behind the scenes of how things happened in the well, I say old school, like it's turn of the century as well. Check out some of those, they're really good. Maybe not the Ric Flair. I've never checked out the Ric Flair one. I know he's been a bit, how should we say, not in the limelight since that Dark Side of the Ring episode came out with the potential, anyway. What Happened When covers WCW with Tony Schiavone, and as I say, Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. They cover WWF/WWE, and sometimes a little bit of Impact Wrestling as well. So
It's good stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3 signs of the play. Number 3. Gable can't spell. Which mainly made me laugh because it was a reference
Because neither can
to
Otis.
the spelling bee thing that they did. And yeah, it was because it reminded me of Otis spelling, what was the
Emmental.
word? Emmental, which is a type of cheese. And he spelled it, but he missed the A. So he ended it TL instead of TAL. And
Signs of the Ranks?
Signs of the Ranks. And they said it was right, so... But then Gable got his wrong and didn't, so... That was fun.
Frank's going to hold the sign for me.
Apparently not.
Rags, no. Bad
Number
rags.
2.
Bad rags.
Send via. which I like for a couple of reasons. First, it's sort of a reference to AEW, where they've got the wrestler Hook,
Taz's son,
and there's been a long-running thing where it's send Hook, so he goes in and sort of wrecks stuff, and that's become a thing there. So now it's send everyone.
Send for you.
Send for you, which is also funny because we've had the...
Come on, nose line.
Because we've had the Veer is coming vignettes for like forever and ever.
Since end of October.
And he did not turn up, spoilers, in the Royal Rumble.
3 months.
3 months.
3 months we've had Veer
is coming. Send Veer. Still think he's locked in a cupboard somewhere.
Yeah.
And my top sign was actually a collection of signs. During the Royal Rumble, when the next person's about to come out, it's a countdown from 10 to 0, and then you have a klaxon. There's a group of people behind the commentator's box that one had 5, one had 4, 3, 2, 1, and they put it up every time. They put them up in the right sequence, and apart from the one kept going backwards, but
fair play to them.
Someone was probably drunk.
That
sort of made it to number 1.
Do you think it was Otis? He can't spell and he can't do numbers either.
Maybe. It made it to my number 1 because it was through the women's one and the men's one. They kept it up. They had that commitment, and I really appreciate that. Lots of other signs that might have made it if they didn't have as many words and would have... I couldn't read half of them. There were some that looked like they might be fun, but...
There was some sort of marriage proposal to Damien Priest.
Yeah.
It was like 2 signs, bright green, marry me, Damien Priest, and the other one next to it, no, seriously, something, think about it maybe. We couldn't quite
And they were like, these people were like moving to different parts to try and get seen, but not for long enough to read it.
Yeah.
So that was Leanne's signs of the play.
Play.
It's going to be funny forever, play. Not going to forget about that.
So how about we do another segment, Leanne?
Yeah.
How about we call this Pat McGaff?
Oh!
E.
Yes.
Pat McGaffs.
Get a pen, quick.
Yeah. So, anyone who's seen these videos, I do not like Pat McAfee. He shouldn't be in the wrestling world. Stick to football, mate. Stick with what you know. Because you clearly know nothing about wrestling, okay? Just stick to that. So, I'm not going to go in any specific order, but I got 4 different things written down, okay? We're gonna have to put a censor in this one.
Okay.
Because this is kind of what you alluded to as well. Whenever Shinsuke comes out, he jumps up on the table. Mate, sit the down, do your job. You're not there to dance on a table. You're there to commentate. You're not there to make yourself look like a complete tool in front of thousands of people. Nobody wants to see you. They want to see Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah,
they want to see Rick Boots.
Away,
yeah, exactly. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. He's nothing more than a glory hog.
I hope one day they don't put the collapsible tables up properly, and he gets up and starts doing his dance.
And he snaps his bloody leg. He has no right to be in this industry.
Nah.
Hate it. Then on the back of Nakamura,
he's angry.
He's in the Royal Rumble. He's got all white outfit on because, Shinsuke and that. Oh, he's dressed all in white leather. How is that leather, mate? Look at it. It's not. It doesn't even look like leather. It's normal material. Get a grip. What a tool.
I like this segment.
And then someone else came in. I can't remember who it was now. Oh, Shane McMahon. Mm-hmm. Shane McMahon joins the Rumble.
Yes.
Bit of a spoiler, but Shane McMahon jumps into the Rumble. And he's there and he's just punch. He's been in the ring for like 5 seconds. Oh, this crowd's chanting. You still got it. No, they friggin' weren't, mate. Are you deaf as well as stupid?
Yeah, they really weren't. He hadn't... I would have... If Shane had been in there for a bit longer at that point...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Done some moves, maybe done a coast-to-coast or something, then yes, they would have.
The thing is, right, Shane McMahon hasn't been gone for years. We haven't seen him since Mania, fair enough. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows he can go. They would never chant, you still got it, because everyone knows he's still got it.
Yeah.
They don't need to say it. But when he's trying to put the words into fans' mouths, oh, they're chanting, you still... No, they weren't, mate. No, they weren't.
And everyone can hear they weren't. So
yeah.
you just look like a liar and an idiot.
Yeah. And there's the last one then was in the first match. Roman Reigns hits a drive-by on Seth Rollins. Oh, he just hit an Undertaker drive-by. Undertaker's never done a drive-by. Undertaker does the leg drop on the apron. He doesn't do a drive-by. What the... Oh. Carry on before I just... Yeah. Yeah, Pat McGaffs.
He's so angry.
I hate this guy.
Men's Royal Rumble!
Arms.
Number 1 and 2 are AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. So that's
But he's wearing all white leather, Leanne.
quite fun.
Sit down and do your job, you moron.
We're moving on. Everything's okay.
I hope someone says this to him. I really do.
Okay. First thing I've written down is about Robert Roode. Because while he was out, he wasn't there for long. He did get eliminated first. But it felt like he really shone to me. He showed his worth. And we were both commenting that he's not being used properly in WWE.
Yeah. Well, I remember Robert Roode, or Bobby Roode, back when he was in TNA.
Yeah.
He was part of Team Canada. He became part of Beer Money. He became the world champion of TNA.
Yeah.
And then he went over to NXT, became the NXT champion.
Yeah.
And then they drag him up here and they just...
Put him in a tag team and
Yeah.
ruin his music, ruin his entrance. Yeah, he's got skills, he's got strength.
Here's a fun fact. So, Download. It's no secret we do festivals, we've been to Download. I was at the very first Download at NXT when Bobby Roode made his NXT debut.
Cool.
And I was like, that's Bobby Roode! What?
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, Bobby Roode.
Okay. Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
So, he sort of has a bit of a face-off with AJ Styles. AJ's like, come on then. Chop.
Everyone gets one free, I think he said, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Couldn't quite make out what he was mouthing. So, Knoxville does a chop on him. It's actually...
He hit him with a forearm.
A forearm, was it? It actually looked pretty good.
To be fair, yeah, I'll give him that.
But obviously then, it's only one free. So AJ starts.
But then Johnny was like, come on in. That was his
Your turn.
first mistake.
So he does this sort of sequence of sort of hits, kicks, and all sorts. It just looks so like precise.
It's AJ, he's phenomenal.
So good. Ending with a clothesline that looked like it hit hard.
Like, yeah, oh god, I think he got him right in the throat.
Yeah, so that can't have been fun.
Yeah.
So then you got Knoxville on the ground. Montez does a frog splash, I think it was. He went to the top rope, frog splash on Knoxville. And then, who was it that got him up on the rope now?
I can't remember.
Thingy with the face mask.
Oh, Rich Holland.
Yeah, him. Gets him up ready to be eliminated. And Sami Zayn gets that final push. Gets him down. But then Sami's so like full of it, he's celebrating and gets eliminated immediately.
I think it's AJ, wasn't it? I think AJ eliminated him.
I think so. I didn't write that bit down, but I expect so. That would make sense. So yeah, that was fun. That was good. I'm glad Knoxville didn't stay in there very long.
He didn't overstay his welcome.
No.
But they furthered that story with Sami Zayn because Knoxville eliminated Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Oh, because obviously Knoxville came down. He had his like little crew from Jackass with him, and luckily they didn't get involved.
Leanne, that's insensitive.
No, I meant there were not many people. It was like 3 of them.
I'm so sorry on her behalf. We do not mean to insult any people with any sort of dwarfism. We are really sorry for that. Leanne, you need to be more sensitive. Disgusting behaviour.
Omos comes out. He has a
Imagine
bit
that
of...
little guy standing next to Omos.
Goodness.
He comes with his waist.
Wow. Omos is huge. He's so big. It was like this match. I really noticed some sizes. How big Omos is and how teeny tiny Rey Mysterio is. He's so small. Anyway, Omos had jacket trubs.
Yeah.
He couldn't get his jacket off for a bit at the top of the round. But he got there in the end, bless him. Obviously, he's massive.
Yeah, he's like 7'3".
So you've got everyone in the ring, just like, how how are we gonna do this? So we had Chad Gable. That's him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shorty G, as he
Shorty
used to
G,
be.
yeah.
That's how I remember his name. That's bad, isn't it? Because that's a bad name. He sort of rallies everyone together. It's like, I've got a plan. Points at Damian Priest. You're the biggest one here. You go first. He could. I mean, it's
To
a
be
trap,
fair,
right?
Priest gave him a good going.
He did, but he may be the biggest one. But on his own, he's Omos is still a giant. So Damian Priest gets eliminated.
Yeah.
And that's when I reckon it was Gable's plan to get rid of Damian Priest that way, because it was like straight after that they were like, now we all go together, which is sort of the sensible thing to do against a big guy. You team up and get him out. So
I'm surprised we didn't see the Damien in the Rumble.
Oh, this Damien side's coming out. He is all Damien. That's his name. Hate that so much. Yeah, so AJ Styles gets the final push, getting Omos out, which is quite appropriate because they were a team and then fell out. And
AJ Styles, MVP of the Rumble, telling you.
Mm-hmm. I've written down that Austin Theory got eliminated by Styles. I wrote that down because that was my
thankfully
pick. I'm so glad that he went. Oh, finally. Boogs was good.
Yes, yeah.
I don't like that he's trying to emanate Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, and McAfee keeps drawing the thing to it as well.
Yeah,
it's
like pain. Fine if it's your style, but it being highlighted again like that, I don't know. I mean, Freddie Mercury's a legend, and sort of leave him alone. But he's not even the first person to try and emulate Freddie Mercury in wrestling, so
probably not.
It's that Japanese girl.
Oh, Emmy Sakura?
Yes, that's right. She's great though. I don't know. I think she does it better.
Yeah.
But Boogs has Chad Gable deadlifted and pressing him.
No, he's one arm.
Was
the other arm was holding his hand to stable him. So one arm was like this, and the other one was on his head, and he's just it was a single arm press.
He's probably had some
because you've obviously got to balance. You've got to hold the arm to balance it, but he wasn't pushing up with his arm.
Yeah.
He was just holding it.
We did 5 presses.
Yeah.
And then just yeet. Although really safely, Gable landed on his feet.
And then that's another instance of when they did the replay.
Yeah.
When he was chucking him out, because you just didn't see any of that.
You couldn't see him throwing. I think they changed camera angle as the elimination happened, or when it was about to.
It might have been that, yeah.
So then they had to do the replay so that you can actually see what happened. So there's a bit of a...
With the Rumble, just stick on the hard cam
for
most of the time. That's all you need.
I think so. There were a lot of weird camera stuff, a lot of out of focus things.
But some of the shots went straight to the crowd instead. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. But yeah, he did also deadlift someone else. Ziggler, but that wasn't quite as smooth because Ziggler's a bigger guy, and it didn't end in an elimination.
Plus, he'd been there for a bit longer, so he's probably starting to get a bit tired.
Yeah, I expect so. AJ Styles did get eliminated by Madcap Moss, of all people.
Boo!
We had a surprise entrant, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Who we thought would be out for a long time with his neck injury. He was supposed to be
against some sort of neck surgery or something. Apparently.
Yeah, so they must have, either it wasn't as serious as they'd initially thought, or they managed to do some repair with rehab stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
So no, but he's back, so that's cool. He eliminates both Corbin and Moss in quick succession, and then goes to attack them on the outside because they've been just making fun of him and telling stupid jokes about him, and were the reason that he was injured.
Yep. At day one.
In storyline, at least. Was it their fault in real life or just in storyline?
No, I think it was just in story.
Yeah.
I think he had a couple of niggling injuries which sort of accrued over time.
Yeah, so they would have done that to give him a good reason to be out, I suppose. Okay, yes. So, Kofi. This was heartbreaking, actually. I felt so bad for him. Because Kofi is famous for ingenious ways of not getting eliminated from Royal Rumble
moments, yeah.
So he'd be walking on the barriers or doing a handstand until he can get to the steps, all that sort of stuff.
I think they said this was his 14th Rumble?
Something like that. It was a significant number.
Definitely double digits.
So I think it was...
it was Kevin.
Kevin, yeah. Sort of throws him out. And Kofi grips onto the barrier where the crowd is.
Yeah, he kind of lands on it, on his sort of midsection or his chest kind of area.
Grabbing on. But it was really obvious in the camera angle as well, both his feet hit the ground. So some kind of miscalculation or a slip. And then he sort of lifts them up as quickly as he can, and he's just hanging on there. And a ref comes over, and you just know he's saying, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it took a while, and I think they were like, no, we can see it in the angle.
Yeah.
Because if you couldn't see it in the camera angle, you'd probably get away with it.
Yeah, but then they showed a replay, like a slow motion.
If it was that obvious, there's no way
Yeah.
you can fudge that. Absolutely no way.
It's so heartbreaking. He wasn't in for long, and they would have had something really fun planned with him, and it's just that one slip or miscalculation or something, and it's just all gone. And probably other spots that were planned are gone. So that is hard. He's probably kicking himself so hard already, and I don't know. That must have been horrible for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everything sort of got a bit flat for a bit after that. I think commentary went a bit flat. The audience went a bit flat. But it's because everyone could feel that disappointment.
It sucked the wind out of the room.
Yeah, so it was a bit... But it did pick back up.
Kofi's always one of those things in the Rumble, like, oh, this is going to be great, here we go.
Yeah, and he was our pick, so...
For SmackDown side, yeah.
Okay, next surprise entrance, though. Bad Bunny. Which I think we have quite... We, in ourselves, have quite conflicting views about Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, he's a musician, why is he here?
And we don't particularly like his style of music.
No, it's not our style, which, other people like it, whatever.
So, yeah,
we don't.
That's it.
But for sort of how long he's been involved in WWE and wrestling and stuff, and sort of the small amount of time that he's in, he's good.
And again, going back to last year WrestleMania, he put on a really good show with Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, you can tell
he put the effort in,
it.
and he put the effort in. You saw the training videos. He loves the business. He's loved wrestling since he was a kid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I've got respect for Bad Bunny. I just don't like the music.
Yeah. But yeah, it was great. He had some good sort of interactions with people. He was sort of jokingly eliminating Rey Mysterio. Because they were because they're both Hispanic, they have a bit of a bonding moment, and then Bad Bunny goes to chuck him over, and then Rey Mysterio's on the outside, and Bad Bunny's like, nearly gotcha, kind of thing. So that was quite fun. Pulled off a Canadian Destroyer.
I can't remember who it was, but damn, that looked good.
It did look good.
That looked so good.
I know, it's another one of those moments where both people are contributing to it looking good, but... I mean, if Bad Bunny couldn't do it, that would have been where it showed.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have let him try if they didn't think he was up for it.
They probably practiced that dozens of times.
Yeah.
Easily.
So that was great.
Yeah.
And then I come up to our number 30 entrant.
Yep. Go on in.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Another, I guess a surprise entrant.
Another PO'd looking Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. You predicted it as soon as Brock lost his match.
Yeah. As soon as Brock lost the title, I was like, right, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Roman's yeah, what I said was when Roman retained his title, I said, if Brock retains, I don't know what they're doing, but the chances are Brock's losing somehow, and then he's going to be in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. And that was just as after the Roman Reigns-Seth Rollins match ended.
Yeah. So, Brock enters at number 30 of all numbers, but I guess they had to leave it as long as possible. Goodness knows in storyline who he, wrecked in the back to come out. We didn't get that. Maybe
Probably
it'll
our
come
truth.
that'd be great.
It'd be like you and Nia Jax beat up our truth for his part.
Yeah, that was quite fun. So yeah, obviously Brock then just cleans house, chucks one over after the other.
Yeah.
It goes very quickly. And then he eliminates... It's him and Drew at the end.
Yeah.
And he eliminates Drew with an F5.
And they pretty much gave a bit of a good slugfest,
yes,
with the headbutts and the boots and whatever.
And a Glasgow kiss
going on. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
No 3, 2, 1 nonsense.
No. We didn't claim on anyone, so...
Yeah.
But Brock Lesnar wins the Rumble. So...
Points to the side.
Yeah, points to the side. So the summarization then, no fire, hopefully, is that it's going to be Brock Lesnar challenging Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which is the only way they can go with this.
I think so.
Because he's not going to be like, oh, well, Bobby Lashley beat me. We didn't. Roman Reigns beat you, mate.
Yeah, it was his fault.
So it's Brock and Roman again at WrestleMania. It's like the third time at Mania, I think. Yawn.
A little bit.
But where do they go with Bobby Lashley now is my question. Does Seth Rollins have a legitimate claim? Like, is Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley a good match?
I don't know. That's an interesting thought. I can't imagine.
Because Seth won a title match.
Yeah.
Whether it was by DQ or not, he won a title match. Now, does he go, Roman couldn't beat me, I want another match or elimination chamber? Which is possible.
Yeah.
And then Roman will probably just steamroll him. Okay? Or... does Bobby be like, well, why are you bothering about SmackDown? I'm the champion here. Come for me instead.
Yeah.
You know?
They do.
That's a possibility.
I don't... Have those two gone against each other much? That
I don't recall.
remember?
I don't think so.
I don't remember off the top of my head seeing them
I
together.
don't think they have.
So it would be interesting to see either way. Wow.
But yeah, so, Leanne, favourite match of the night?
I think Reigns versus Rollins.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
It just hit that ground running, the head work from Rollins.
Yeah.
It was just great.
It was good. There's so many good spots in it, and just the energy was right.
Which of the two Rumble matches do you prefer?
The men's. I think I mentioned to you when we were watching that I don't like saying it really, because I really do like the women's division and having that equality, which is, it's still not quite there, but it's building.
Yeah.
But the skill level in the men's roster is just better at the moment, and there's probably many reasons for it. It's nothing like men are better than women or anything like that. It's like dynamics and storylines, and
it's more down to WWE holding back their women's division again.
Yeah.
For me, the telltale sign is, and the Royal Rumble is one of those things where you love seeing the surprise entrances.
Yes.
Okay. But in this aspect, how many did the Royal Rumble for the men have? 2.
Yeah, 2 surprised.
2 that weren't active wrestlers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had Bad Bunny, Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
How many in the women's Rumble that aren't under contract enter the Rumble?
Lots. Because there aren't
like
enough
maybe
women.
8, 10 rags. Like maybe 8 or 10. I can't remember off the top of my head, I'll be honest. I don't know the number off the top of my head.
It's a lot though.
So, I mean, yeah, it's got to be a good, maybe close to a third of the Rumble. Because they keep letting all the talent go.
Yeah.
And that's impacting the division. I don't want to see Charlotte versus Sasha Banks again. I don't want to see Charlotte versus Bayley again. No. I don't want to keep seeing Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan or Bianca Belair again, you know? Which is, and it's a good thing that Ronda's back. It's been like nearly 3 years that she went off to have a family and whatnot. And it's, you know, great, fantastic. It's good to see her back because it's a bit of fresh blood.
Yeah.
But how long till that gets driven down our throat again?
Yeah, it's true.
You know, that's the problem I have with WWE. Whereas in, again, a name-dropping AEW, they've had Riho fight Britt Baker, they've had Chris Statlander, I think Penelope Ford's had a bash at it. I can't remember who she fought recently. Was it Thunder Rosa? No, that was the Lights Out match at St. Patrick's Day last year. There was someone else. It was Riho they bought for Battle of the Belts. I can't remember. I don't think they've set a number one contender yet, but it's always someone different.
Yeah.
You know, it might be Ruby Soho. It might be I said Nia Jax, not Nia Jax. Nyla Rose.
Yes.
It could be anyone. Anna Jay, who fought Jade for the TBS title on Rampage not Friday just gone, but the Friday before. So they've got quite a diverse roster, and they're not afraid to just go, hey, look at this. You know, who's to say they don't put Red Velvet against Britt Baker?
Yeah.
Because Red Velvet can go. They all know she can go. And it's not Sasha Banks, it's not Charlotte Flair, it's not Becky Lynch, it's not Bayley. Always the same ones. And that really frustrates me. Because I don't want to see, again, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Do I like Roman Reigns? No. Do I think he's got talent? Yes, absolutely. Do I think he could improve? Absolutely. Same with Brock Lesnar. Like, Brock Lesnar's a beast. But he comes across overpowering and he seems unbeatable. So when someone does beat him, it's like, oh, wow, that's great. Like, Bobby Lashley, he's a purebred, you know? But I don't want to see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for like the 3rd WrestleMania. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're big names and they draw money, but that's because you're not building other stars, you know? Give Seth Rollins a chance. You should have put that belt on Seth Rollins. I'm sick of this record-breaking thing. No, it's not, mate. It's not. It's not. Go away. Anyway.
That's Royal Rumble 2022.
Overall, pretty good.
Yes, I did enjoy this one.
Not the best, but pretty good.
Oh, it's sort of building back up, I think, from some pretty dire...
Oh, day 1 was awful. Survivor Series was awful. Well, was day 1 awful?
I think day 1 was okay.
It was mediocre.
So it's on the way up, which is nice to see.
Survivor Series was trash.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Well, hopefully Elimination Chamber will continue that upward trend.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with our predictions for that in February, February is soon.
Yeah,
next
it's
week.
Tuesday. Tuesday's February 5th.
So all that is left to say, I guess, is thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate all you guys. Leave a comment below if there's anything you think that we missed.
Do you want me to continue with Pat McGaffs?
Maybe continue it, but with a slightly less angry tone, so that
I
don't
can't,
get
because he
scared.
infuriates me too much.
Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, to Alan Presents, and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. We do more stuff other than wrestling. We've got some board game stuff.
We'll have some new board game content dropping this
things.
week at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I said this week.
Some unboxing stuff, probably. Various things, random stuff.
We are waiting for some things to arrive, so fingers crossed they'll arrive soon and we can do some more unboxings.
That'd be good. Follow us on socials. Our details are in the video description below. And until next time, watch some wrestling. It's actually pretty good.
AEW.
Bye.